I'm a little emotional today because it's my oldest child's 8th birthday. And as any of you with small children or grandchildren or little children in your lives know right now, celebrating birthdays when you're in quarantine at home is tricky. And the North Vancouver Fire Department just came by with their truck and a huge poster that they'd written my son's name on, sorry, to celebrate him with us. And why I'm so emotional about this isn't even about my family and my son. It's about how I have been so moved since this whole thing started by how much we're showing up for each other in ways that are everything from ordinary to extraordinary. We had a little party. My cousin surprised my son in the woods over the weekend with an ice cream stand, and we had a socially distant or physically distant ice cream stand for him, and just the thought and love that went into doing that, and the fire department coming in and doing this. And yesterday we happened to be in front of the hospital in North Vancouver at 7:00. And we've always done the banging at home for recognizing and thanking frontline staff. We hadn't actually ever been in front of a hospital when that happened, and there was a group of First Nations men who were there with their drums and regalia, cedar hats, and so forth, and they were banging and singing, and a whole bunch of people from the neighborhood had come and were blowing bubbles and clapping and singing, and all the staff came out of the hospital, and we're also banging, which I just couldn't stop crying. And the reason that moves me so much is that it's because we're showing up for each other. One of the great gifts of this time with the pandemic has been just an invitation that we seem to be embracing to show up, and how just showing up is one of the greatest gifts you can ever give somebody, more than any material good I could ever think of. Showing up for our children, for the other children in our community, for our friends, for just showing up for each other in whatever way we can. So today, I just wanted to share that with you because it's just so big for me right now, and I am a little bit emotional from it still, and I am showing up for you as best as I can here with this daily offering. That's one of the ways I'm choosing to show up for my community during this pandemic, and I'm so grateful that you're here and that you're also showing up. And so let's pull out today's offering and see what we get. We have a poppy pod. I was just looking at this last week thinking, oh, I love it. Then because the poppies are starting to, of course, pop up in the gardens all around the city. This is a sterling silver oxidized silver poppy pod. It's so beautiful. It's hollowed out. I've hollowed it out, and I've even carved in the little holes where the seeds come out once this goes to pod. It's a really beautiful piece, and I'm so excited for whoever gets this. I'll take a photo of it and put it up on the site. And poppies, for many people, poppies are about dreaming. And in fact, the card for poppy, let's pull it, is called the Dreamer's Companion, the elemental story card for poppy. And I always, whenever I pull this piece of jewelry or whenever it comes out of my jewelry box and for me to wear, I always think about how it reminds me to cast some more attention toward my dream life, whether I'm going through a period of active dreaming. Sometimes I dream tons, and sometimes I go weeks without feeling like I'm dreaming anything. And so poppy always reminds me to spend a little bit more time trying to remember what's coming up for me in my dreams, and in my waking life thinking about what those themes or objects or feelings from our dreams symbolize. And so that is, for me, that's what it is looking to our dreams for finding answers for things that we may not have in our waking life. So I'll read to you. Poppies seem soft and fragile, yet they are strong survivors, just like you. Their first order of business in coming into life is creating a solid, gorgeous pod to house their seeds and ensure their successful future. So taking care of what you need to take care of today to make sure that tomorrow you'll still be strong. It's really important. They allow themselves to flirtatiously bend and sway in the breeze, yet they always seem to have a secret seriousness about them, perhaps because of the potent medicine they hold. Poppies can bring about deep restorative sleep and help us connect with the dream world. Poppies teach us to rest when we need to. If you need to rest right now, listen to that and rest. Sometimes some of the answers we seek can only be found in our dreams and not in our waking lives. So that's the invitation today. There's two. There's one for me, which is how can you show up for yourself, and how can you show up for the people in your life in a new way, in a deeper way than maybe you ever have before, because I'm finding there's such a richness in that. And yeah. And then the other one is how can you look to your dreams for answers that maybe you're having a hard time finding when you're awake. Thank you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.